militaries around the world are continually building bigger and more powerful machines to get the edge on the battlefield, and it seems as if there's no limit to the lengths designers will go. From city-sized ships to monstrous tanks and flying fortresses, these are the top 15 largest military vehicles. Number 15. Gerald R. Ford Class Aircraft Carrier. Aircraft carriers are the most powerful vessels at sea, providing a platform for a fleet of jets, as well as being armed with countless weapons and the ability to become a base of operations for battles taking place far from home. They're the biggest military vehicles of all, and the latest type to be designed and developed by the U.S. Navy is called the Gerald R. Ford class. With 10 planned ships, 2 of which have already been completed, each one costing an estimated $13 billion. They're just under 1,100 feet long, 252 feet wide at their widest point, and about 250 feet tall. Made up of 25 decks, they're powered by 2 Bechtel A-1B PWR nuclear reactors, which with 4 propeller shafts gives the vessel a top speed of 35 miles or 56 kilometers an hour through the water. They require a crew of around 2,600 people, with a huge top-level flight deck that can carry more than 75 aircraft at a time. They're armed with 4 surface-to-air missile launchers, along with 3 Phalanx close-in weapon systems and 4 M250 caliber machine guns, making it virtually impossible for enemy craft or planes to get close to it. With everything on board, these aircraft carriers can strike at targets hundreds of miles away and can operate without resupplying for up to 3 months. They're also fitted with the latest technology, such as stealth capabilities, automated systems, and a variety of radar and scanning systems, making them a floating weapons platform the likes of which the world has never seen before. Number 14. M1A2 Abrams Main Battle Tank. With the first versions entering the battlefield in 1980, but having undergone several redesigns since then, the M1A2 Abrams Main Battle Tank is one of the heaviest tanks in the world that are currently in service. Weighing up to 74 tons, they're just over 32 feet long, with the main turret facing forward. They're 12 feet wide and about 8 feet tall. Powered by a Honeywell AGT 1500 multi-fuel turbine engine that can produce 1,500 horsepower. The Abrams tank has a top speed of 45 miles per hour and a range of up to 265 miles. They're operated by a crew of 4 people, which include a commander, a driver, a loader, and a gunner, and are covered in a composite armor that can be upgraded to explosive reactive armor when needed. In terms of weaponry, the tank is fitted with a main L44 M256A1 smoothbore gun, which is supplemented by 150 caliber M2 HB heavy machine gun and 2 308 M240 machine guns. The arrival of one of these on the battlefield is sure to make an impact, so it's no surprise that since its first introduction, it's been the main battle tank of the United States Army, and export versions are also used by Egyptian, Australian, Polish, and Iraqi troops. Number 13. Lockheed Martin C5M Super Galaxy. In the 1960s, as the Cold War was reaching its height, military commanders knew that skirmishes would break out virtually anywhere in the world, and they needed a transport aircraft that could take a large number of troops or supplies to wherever they were needed. Measuring 247 feet and 1 inch long, and with a wingspan of 222 feet and 9 inches, 4 General Electric F-138-100 turbofan engines give it a cruising speed of 520 miles an hour and a range of about 5,500 miles. They're ideally flown by a crew of 7, but this can be reduced to 4 if necessary, with an aircraft commander, a pilot, 2 flight engineers, and 3 loadmasters. Amazingly, with its speed and distance that can be traveled before refueling, it also has a huge capacity with a maximum cargo weight of 140 tons. This makes the C5M one of the largest and most capable military aircraft in the world, and the latest upgrades mean that each aircraft is expected to remain in operation well into the 2040s. Number 12. Typhoon-class submarine. The Soviet-built Typhoon-class submarine is the largest vessel ever built that can completely submerge, and despite being in service for more than 40 years, they're simply unbelievable. Measuring 574 feet long and 75 feet wide, the subs are powered by 2 nuclear reactors as well as 2 steam turbines. This gives the vessel the ability to reach a speed of 31 miles per hour while underwater, and the hull is strong enough to withstand depths of up to 3,000 feet. Armed with 6 torpedoes, a surface-to-air missile launcher, and 20 submarine-launched ballistic missile launchers, it takes a crew of 120 members to operate and is able to stay submerged for up to 4 months at a time. Even though the sub could last for far longer underwater, the real issue is the welfare of the crew spending this amount of time at sea. And to try to overcome this problem, the Sun even has its own swimming pool, gym, and a number of recreational rooms. Currently, only one of the original 6 Typhoon submarines remains operational, but the Russian Navy is said to be planning to complete 2 new ones, which they expect to be operational by 2026. Number 11. MIL Mi-26. Helicopters are an important part of every Air Force fleet, and by far the heaviest and most powerful to ever go into serial production is the Soviet-designed MIL Mi-26. They were first introduced in an operational capacity in 1983 and soon became a reliable heavy transport option because of the huge loads it's able to carry. The chopper itself is 131 feet long and 26 feet tall. It's powered by 2 ZMKB Progress D136 turboshaft engines, featuring a main rotor with a diameter of 105 feet. The Mi-26 is able to achieve a top speed of 183 miles per hour and has a range of about 310 miles. Amazingly, it travels this distance at this speed when carrying its full capacity of 22 tons of cargo, or up to 90 troops, which makes it ideal to insert soldiers into an active war zone, or to carry vehicles or weapons between locations. Since 1980, 316 Mi-26 have been built, and their functionality has meant they're used for purposes far beyond the initial militaristic intent. In 1986, it was an Mi-26, for example, that was deployed to help react to the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, and more recently, in 1999, one was used to transport a 25-ton block of frozen soil from a site in Siberia that contained a perfectly preserved 23,000-year-old woolly mammoth. Number 10. Type 055 Destroyer. The Chinese Navy, known officially as the People's Liberation Army Navy, has reportedly been trying to develop their own large destroyer since at least the 1960s, and now that the country is undoubtedly becoming a leader on the world stage, the investment and know-how has been brought together to build this new fleet. Originally revealed in 2014, and with the first vessel of its kind having entered service in 2020, the Type 055 destroyer surely is a warship for modern times. At a length of 590 feet and a width of up to 65 feet, the vessel is powered by 6 QD-50 turbine generators that can produce 30 megawatts of energy, as well as 4 gas turbines that produce 112 megawatts. This allows the ship to achieve a top speed of 35 miles per hour, and it has a massive range of 5,000 nautical miles. With a complement of just over 300 crew members, it's designed to be able to react quickly to emerging threats and be on the scene quicker than any other vessel. It's fitted with a high-tech suite of scanners and monitoring systems, and once it's engaged in battle, it can be devastating. The destroyer carries 2 helicopters in its stern hangar, and it's equipped with a 130mm gun, a close-in weapon system, and a short-range SAM 24-cell missile launcher. Also a vertical launching system compatible with surface-to-air missiles, anti-cruise ship missiles, and land attack cruise missiles, as well as 2 sets of 234mm torpedo tubes. This thing is armed to the teeth. With disputes in the Chinese waters reaching an all-time high, the presence of this destroyer will surely end any chance of opposition from anyone other than the largest and most capable naval fleets on Earth. Number 9. K2 Black Panther. With an unpredictable regime in control to the north of the border, the South Korean military is one of the best equipped and advanced in the world. Central to their battleground tactics is the K2 Black Panther, which is one of the largest main battle tanks used by any armed forces. It's packed full of the latest technology, and each one cost an estimated $8.5 million, which also makes them one of the most expensive tanks used by any country. Weighing just over 61 tons, it's 35 feet long and about 11 feet wide. It's operated by a 3-person crew, which includes a commander, a driver, and a gunner. And to keep them as safe as possible, the vehicle is covered with POSCO armor steel, modular add-on armor, and further types of armor that remain classified. The 12-cylinder water-cooled engine produces 1,500 horsepower to give the Black Panther a top speed of 43 miles an hour and a range of about 280 miles. Of course, as with any tank, the most important feature are the weapons, and the K2 has plenty of them. The main one is a 120mm smoothbore gun, and it also has K6 heavy machine guns and a coaxial machine gun too. The hope is that it can handle virtually anything that's thrown at it, particularly from the demilitarized zone with North Korea, and there are currently already more than 200 in active service. Number 8. Xian Y20. Officially revealed in 2006, the Xian Y20 is a huge military transport aircraft that was developed by Xian Aircraft Industrial Corporation for the Chinese military. Its official code name was Kunpeng, after the mythical Chinese bird that was said to be able to fly for thousands of miles, and it certainly lives up to that expectation. Measuring 154 feet long with a wingspan of 164 feet, it's powered by 4 turbofan engines, which gives it a maximum speed of 575 miles per hour and a service range of 4,800 miles. It has a crew of 3 people, and it's able to carry cargo that weighs up to 66 tons, and the unusually shaped fuselage has been purposefully designed so it's able to transport 2 Type 15 tanks at the same time, or 1 Type 99A tank. After extensive testing, the Y-20 entered operational service in 2016, and more than 20 have now been built, all of which are used by the People's Liberation Army Air Force. It's easily the widest aircraft to have yet been designed in China, and there are already plans to build several variants that use alternative engines, are able to refuel other aircraft in flight, or can act as an airborne early warning system. Number 7. Ohio-class submarine. The Ohio-class submarines were developed and built in the 1970s, and after entering service in 1981, are the largest subs to have ever been built for the U.S. Navy. At a cost of around $3 billion each, 18 were constructed, and each one remains operational. They're 560 feet long and 42 feet wide. They feature an SHG PWR nuclear reactor, as well as 2 geared turbines and 2 further auxiliary engines. The subs are reportedly able to reach a top speed of 29 miles per hour when underwater, and capable of reaching depths in excess of 800 feet. They also have a crew of around 150 members and have, in theory, an unlimited range, although this would never happen in practice because of the need to replenish food supplies. Despite not being the overall largest subs in the world, the Ohio-class ones have every other design beat in terms of the number of missiles they can carry, in this case 24 Trident II nuclear ballistic missiles. They form a major part of the nation's nuclear deterrent, and as such their movements are classified, and they can be sent to a target within a matter of seconds through a variety of means, from the main command in Nebraska, such as by radio communications, but also, if these are blocked, by ultra-low frequency alternatives. By 2031, the Ohio-class subs will be replaced by a next generation called the Columbia-class. Will actually be almost the identical size, but will feature far more advanced technology. Number 6. CH-53K King Stallion. Developed by Sikorsky for the United States Marine Corps, the CH-53K King Stallion is a new heavy-lift cargo helicopter, with the first being delivered in 2018. The $25 billion program will eventually produce 200 of them, with the intent that they'll replace most other comparable vehicles. As things stand, each individual King Stallion cost more than an F-35, so they have a lot to live up to. With a 73-foot-long fuselage that's 17 feet wide, it's powered by 3 General Electric turboshaft engines that enable it to achieve a cruising speed of 200 miles an hour across an operational range of about 530 miles. Piloted by a 4-person crew, the King Stallion is able to carry 30 passengers or troops, or cargo weighing up to 18 tons. With a series of other design improvements over previous models, it's hoped that as more are deployed, the CH-53K will significantly improve the aerial support capabilities available to the Marine Corps. Number 5. Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. Until the first Gerald R. Ford-class aircraft carrier launched in 2017, the largest aircraft carriers the world had ever seen were the Nimitz class, and they remain bigger than anything any other country currently produces. Measuring 1,092 feet long and up to 252 feet wide, they're powered by 2 Westinghouse nuclear reactors, along with 4 steam turbines, which allow them to reach a top speed in excess of 35 miles per hour. As they are nuclear-powered, they have an unlimited range and are designed to have an operational lifespan of up to 50 years. Upgrades will, however, substantially extend this, and of the 10 that were originally built in the 70s and 80s, all of them are still an integral part of the fleet. With a crew numbering more than 6,000 personnel, the vessels can carry up to 90 fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters and are equipped with up to 24 RIM-7 Sea Sparrow missiles, 4 Phalanx close-in weapons defense systems, and a series of countermeasure systems designed to defend against attack. There's also an extra layer of 2.5-inch thick Kevlar over particularly vital areas. The only cause of any substantial damage to a Nimitz-class carrier was the result of an accident and nothing to do with any enemy actions. Number 4. Antonov AN124. Originally created by the Antonov Design Bureau for the Soviet Air Force, the Antonov AN124 is the largest military transport aircraft used by any country around the world. They first entered service in 1986, and since then 55 were built, some of which are now used by civilian organizations because of the huge cargo capacity that they offer. AN124s measure 226 feet long, have a wingspan of over 240 feet, requiring a crew of 6 to fly, which includes a pilot, co-pilot, navigator, chief flight engineer, electrical flight engineer, and radio operator. They're powered by 4 Progress D18T high-bypass turbofan engines, which allow them to reach a cruising speed of 537 miles per hour over a maximum range of 2,300 miles with a full payload. It's able to carry 88 people in the upper section and either a further 350 people in the lower part or cargo weighing up to 165 tons. Number 3. T14 Armata. First entering service in 2016 and still in production, the T14 Armata is Russia's new main battle tank. Weighing approximately 60 tons, they are 29 feet long, 11 feet wide, and are operated by a 3-member crew. The engine on board is an up to 2,000 horsepower diesel version that gives the T14 a top speed of 56 miles per hour, and it's said to have an operational range of up to 310 miles. The tank is still in the early stages of production. The full details of the finished product aren't fully known yet, but based on the early ones that have already been delivered, they feature a smoothbore cannon as the main weapon, with a 1/2-inch Court machine gun and a 0.3-inch PKTM machine gun to support it. As is becoming more common in modern tank designs, the crew are protected by an internal armored capsule, and the chassis and the turret are fitted with explosive reactive armor. The combination of the thick layer of protection and its overall size means the tank is remarkably light and quick, which has led to suggestions that a newly designed composite material has been used in its construction. Number 2. The Zuber Hovercraft. We normally think of hovercraft as quirky vehicles that in some places around the world are used for civilian transport, but the largest ones to have ever been built remain an important part of the Russian Navy. The Zuber-class vessels were designed in the 1980s and 10 remain in active operation. They're used as transport craft that deliver amphibious assault units like tanks or personnel to shore, as well as moving and laying naval mines. They are surprisingly big, measuring 187 feet long and 84 feet wide. On the back, you'll see the unmistakable sight of 3 4-bladed propellers that are powered by 5 gas turbine units, and this gives them a top speed across calm water of 72 miles per hour with a range of 300 miles. They're operated by a crew of 31 and are equipped with 4 air defense missile launchers, 2 AK-630 close weapons systems, and 2 Ogon rocket launchers, as well as the machinery needed to transport and lay up to 80 mines. With the further capability to carry loads of up to 55 tons, a fleet of these approaching a beach means the battle is soon to be over. Number 1. Zumwalt class destroyer. With an estimated cost of $4.3 billion per unit, the Zumwalt-class destroyer is a type of guided missile destroyer that's a stealth ship and is one of the new designs that was planned to enter the U.S. Navy fleet in the past decade. Despite being classed as a destroyer, they're much larger than any other destroyer in the Navy and should technically fall under a classification of their own. They measure 610 feet long and are about 80 feet wide. Powered by 2 Rolls-Royce MT-30 gas turbines and 2 turbine generators, the ships have a top speed of 35 miles per hour. With space for 2 helicopters and 3 UAVs on board, and equipped with 20 vertical launch modules, 2 advanced gun systems, and 2 Mk-46 Mod 2 gun systems, they have the potential to be incredibly dangerous ships, and are yet to be truly tested, and were set to be widespread throughout the Navy. But because of massive cost increase, the project have now been canceled, and only 3 have been completed. Watch our Vehicles playlist for more top 15 videos about amazing vehicles. Sit back, relax, and binge watch all of our best vehicle videos.